Every kid has a great story to tell. Have one? Well, we're listening. Send your best story to the New Indian Express's Bookworm Junior Summer Stories Contest and you could just end up becoming an author over the summer. What are you waiting for? Get writing.
Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Take your first step toward a future in excellence.
Welcome to the New Indian Express's Let's Debate. We're super excited to have you with us. This is a debate with a difference. This is not like primetime television. There's no shouting, there's no screaming, and we have some of the best kids from across some of the country's best schools talking to us and debating about things that they are passionate about. Let me first introduce to you our judges. We're very happy to have with us Sai Prasad, who is joining us from Hyderabad. Sai, of course, is somebody who's never let his wheelchair get in the way. He's gone skydiving, he's been to Antarctica, and he's counseled, I believe, more than 35,000 students. I don't know how you find the time, Sai, but you're an inspiration to all of us. From within the New Indian Express family, we have with us Edison Thomas. Edison Thomas is a very, very senior journalist. He's based in Bangalore. He's been with the Times of India for a good many years. He's taught at Christ University, and he now heads our lifestyle supplement Indulge across all centers, and he's a fantastic writer. He's into bikes, he's into food, he's into travel, and I can go on about him for many years. Thank you so much for joining us, Eddie. Gaming that involves warfare should be banned in India. That's right. That's the topic we're going to talk about. PUBG has been in the news on and off. There are many other games that involve gruesome weapons and warfare, and that's always been a source of great debate. Well, today we're going to let you come to your own conclusions about that. The first speaker whom I'm going to invite to speak for the motion is Pratik Kumar Sahu. Pratik, of course, is from St. Xavier's Group of Schools. Pratik, the floor is yours. When you hear the beep, your time will begin and you can speak.
A very good afternoon to all of you present over. I am Pratik Kumar Sahu from St. Xavier High School, Nevada, Cuttack. Studying in class 8. Today I have got a golden opportunity to say some lines in the power of my motion. Gaming that includes warfare must be banned in India. So I am using my first reference in the power of the motion. Nowadays, most of the warfare games are played by the beginners as well as the teenagers, which affect their behavior. Rather playing other indoor and outdoor games like cricket, tennis, carom, football, etc. The exposure of these games or warfare games is a complete risk on the aggressive behavior, aggressive performance, aggressive conjugation, and aggressive effect on the empathy and pro-social behavior of that child. So it also leads to the negative behavior and negative effect on the physical and mental health of that child, which leads to the decreased performance in the academic or school or tuition. The parents must control that their child should not play or should play, and the parents should give their children the free to play only the offline games and the games that does not include warfare. So by playing warfare games, the children minimize the physical activity and they do not play outside, which causes many diseases like obesity, cardiac problems, psychological problems, etc. and etc. That does not helps the child to play that game and outdoor game. So their mind also gets squeezed in that, and they does not believe anything and does not think about anything outside their world. They only think about their phone, their mind, and them. By playing that games, the rays or violent rays coming out from the laptop, desktop, mobile phones, and other devices playing by them affect their eyes and make them visually challenged. So the children should play the outdoor games like cricket, football, etc. By playing the warfare games, they think that they are the main player or they lead that game and they get isolated from the outer world and the outer family of them. They does not think about any other things and any other problems happen to them. They uh, they uh, d- uh, they play only the warfare games and other online games, and the violence created by them inside that warfare games causes many violent acts by them. They become short tempered. They also become irritated for some time, and by getting some work they does not do it properly, as their mind does not goes to the work and they do and they not do anything outside their mobile phones. This hampers their mind, physical health, and mental development of that child. It also minimizes their brain and does not keep them in and does not and keep them inside their phone and not to the outer world. So in my point of view, the warfare games should not be banned only in India but also in the whole world to save the teenagers, etc. So by saying this, I conclude my speech. Thank you and have a gorgeous day ahead.
Thank you so much, Pratik. 10 cent games would have a lot to say about that, but let's hear from your friends from across the aisle. Our next speaker today, let me invite Preeti D from Sri Ramakrishna Math Vivekananda Centenary Girls High School. Preeti will be speaking against the motion and telling us why she thinks that warfare in games should not be banned. Preeti, once you hear the beep, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon to one and all. I am D. Preeti from 7th Standard, Sri Ramakrishna Math, Vivekananda Girls Higher Secondary School. So I talk about game warfare. So people get an easy access to develop their strategy, leadership skills, or winning or everything. So next topic is the learned barriers. So technologies which may be used for working in different fields. It may be used for working in different fields. So children don't use the mobile. So outdoor games only you used, not banned in which while playing game which included in India. So terrorism or access or including your mind or your education. Thank you.
Annie Josephine, who's talking to us all the way from Kerala. Annie, when you hear the beep, the floor is yours.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Annie Josephine Finol of Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Elamakara, and today I will be speaking against the motion for the topic computer games which has violence should be banned in India. Gun violence was here long before the gaming world came, and so did behavioral problems. So there is no point on calling for a ban. In this 21st century, students must be accessible to these games as they help players manage restricted resources and require them to decide the most effective way to use them. It has been an ugly stereotype that games cause children to become violent or lack attention span and generally exhibit antisocial tendencies. It's actually quite the opposite. Antisocial children usually turn to such interactive entertainment because it's the only part of their lives they have any sense of control over. These games in general actually increase aptitude in human brain and make you smarter, possibly teaching you real life skills. One of the set skills is not how to kill, but how to survive. In a war game, you are actually put in the shoes of a super soldier. It helps to build the patriotism of the gamer. These games require the child to focus intensively, but the brain puts itself in a responsive position which ultimately helps analyze real life problems. Analysis has shown that playing action based video games, especially the shooting games, helps in abstraction, improves spatial ability, peripheral attention skills, multiple object tracking, and improves hand eye coordination skills. Certain video games also have an impact on the player's behaviors. Games like the World of Warcraft require players to partner and collaborate with other group players to encourage collaboration and networking among team players. The child learns to listen to its teammates, make decisions with the group's approval, and respect each other's opinions. The governments around the globe have a lot of apologizing to do after trying to ban and regulate warfare video games, blaming violence. But there is no point in banning the warfare video games. But parents just need to monitor their kids if they are playing the age appropriate games. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so very much. That was extremely informative. Let me now invite our next speaker who will be speaking for the motion. Let me invite Maimuna Jasmine. Would you like to make your remarks now?
Everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maimuna. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maimuna Jasmine from 5th grade, 5th standard. I'm from Limbra International School in Madurai. Now I'm going to talk about the warfare of game. Over these years, we faced many wars and lost many lives along with wonders that reversed. Part of civilization we are evolving by peace agreements between each country. During this smartphone era, games become more attractive and it creates addiction to youngsters, especially when it comes to warfare-related games like State PUBG without doubt this game. This is the most popular battle royale game due to its relative war experience. Youngsters are so excited while playing this game. Few went to war and had tragedy ending. 25 years old man in Maharashtra died of brain stroke while playing PUBG. Death cause is an intracerebral hemorrhage because of the excitement during gameplay. Moreover, there is one more death reported. Now, let's see what are the disadvantages of the government we should be aware of. Lack of other hobbies and poor academic performance, lethargic nature which will also lead to weight gain. Growing addictions, draining addiction can slow down the brain growth, draining negatively affect eyesight and result in insomnia.
Thank you very much, Maimuna. That was very elucidating. I particularly liked the point you made about how addiction is a very real issue today. Thank you so much, Maimuna. Let me now move on to our next speaker. Speaking against the motion, let me now invite Jenny. Jenny, if you'd like to talk to us. Jenny is from Amrita Vidyalaya in Coimbatore. Jenny, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I am Jenny Pierce from Coimbatore. Games like fire, etc. should be banned in India as it brings many health issues to the players. It causes obesity problems, weakened eye, lack of mental growth. Here are some disadvantages of playing warfare involved games. Addiction. When playing the game for a long time, when we are engaged in other job, our mind is without the game itself. University study also found that percentage of the youth gamers are addicted to the game. Their playing habits are family, social, school, or psychological damage. In fact, PUBG Mobile crosses 1 billion plus downloads since launch. This shows that how many people are addicted to the game. Nightmares about the game. If we spend all the time playing warfare games, then we will get a bad night game. At you. Feel very tired. This is because they are sleep pattern of the lack of other hobbies and academic performance. Spending time playing games a person new and play better type of games able to concentrate their studies and results in a poor academic performance of games may increase and points video can come back and that it might also lesion overuse. Game addiction can slow the brain too. There are a lot of that input and development, importing critical skills at the time play all the game for also business. In the Bengal time, there are many disadvantages of games that involve whatever is aspect. Wisely choose the correct and practice our be amateur new game. So all these efforts will be best from my point of view. With this,
Thank you so much, Jenny. The dark side of tech strikes. We really hope that by the time your rebuttal comes around, you'll be able to find some better signal. But we'll see if we can rectify that on our edits. Let me now very quickly invite to speak for the motion Shrija Malik. Shrija, if you will, the floor is yours. Shrija, of course, is joining us from Shiv Nadar School. Shrija, when you hear the ping, take it away.
Good afternoon to all. I'm here to talk in proposition of the topic, gaming that involves warfare should be banned in India. Games involving warfare usually contain excessive violence in form of physical acts or weapons. For example, in PUBG, Fortnite, Call of Duty. These games can gravely impact numerous brains and actions. Firstly, due to the attractive graphics and adventurous activities, these games cling the children into them, leading towards addiction and increase in screen time. This compulsiveness towards the game affects a person's daily routine, a child's academics, and increases lack of physical activity. Disturbance in academics would lead towards low grades and less understanding. Lack of physical activity would cause obesity and spinal issues, etc. Disruption in one's routine would provoke time management issues and disturbance in planned activities. Due to the inclining screen time, a child would have a weak eyesight and would socialize less. If a child or an adult start restricting themselves to a warfare game, they're isolating themselves from the surrounding, causing fewer or no interactions with the people around. This would harm a person's confidence and communication skills, which is utmost requirement in events like this one, and in the modern world, as communication is essential for most careers. As per Harvard Health, 66% of the teens are involved in playing warfare games. Secondly, these games aggravate a child's behavior towards agitation, leading into behavioral issues. These games mold a young child's mind into violence and stream the thoughts towards war, homicides, assaults, etc. As per few statistics, violent video games are a vital issue for gun related deaths across the globe. Even the ex president of the United States blamed the grisly video games for the violence in these societies. The extreme gore in the games can negatively impact one's brain. It can provoke a person towards brutality, as such games showcase use of various weapons of movements of murdering the enemy. In many politicians' perspective, a gunman who killed 22 people and injured 24 others somewhere in Texas in 2019 was encouraged to do so by violent video games, and that he had techniques of killing similar to the ones shown in these video games. Our lives are precious, and I'm sure you don't want to lose it. At least I don't. I am just a young teen. Hence, I strongly agree that warfare games should be banned in India to prevent health issues, addictiveness, non-socializing, and violence, to have a peaceful, non-violent, and just society. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrija. I knew everybody was playing PUBG, but 66% is a really scary revelation. Let me now invite to speak against the motion, Krish Vimal Kumar. Krish, of course, is talking to us from Hyderabad, from Oak Ridge International. Krish, when you hear the beep, all yours.
Hello everyone, I'm Krish Vimal Kumar from Oak Ridge International School, Hyderabad. I'm against this motion to ban video games, including warfare, in India. Here are a few reasons why. Playing video games do have some salutary effects on the child's learning processes. Some research has shown that playing action-based video games improves spatial ability, especially around visual attention, identifying contrasts, peripheral attention skills, and multiple object tracking. If excessive violence is the problem, children can still play action-packed games, but without the excessive violence that we are all worried about. Video games, which include warfare and working together, can improve social skills and teamwork in real life. In a test taken by a person known as Mark Rober, he asked his YouTube followers to attempt this simple video game. Around 50,000 people attempted this game. In a test taken by Mark Rober, he asked his YouTube followers to attempt this simple video game. Around 50,000 people attempted this game. All he had to do is cross the maze by using coding blocks, but he made a slight change. Half of his followers were asked to play a game where if you fail, it would just tell you to try again. In the other version of the game, it will deduct 5 points from the player starting 200 points if they fail. The final results were astounding. The people who are penalized for failing had success rates of around 52%, while people who are not penalized had a success rate of around 68%. It was also proven in the test that people who didn't have a penalty for failing attempted more times than the people who are penalized. In conclusion, video games can influence people to never give up and learn from their mistakes. For the final statement, games including warfare shouldn't be banned in India. Thank you for listening to my point of view on this motion.
Thank you so much, Krish. Let me now invite Sanchita Suri from Mothers International School. Sanchita, you will be speaking for the motion. Take it away.
Good afternoon to one and all. I am Sanchita Suri, and today I will be speaking for the topic gaming that involves warfare should be banned in India. Warfare refers to the different methods of fighting a war or types of wars. When we hear the word war, other words such as kills, deaths, and fights come to our mind. It is something which has a negative impact everywhere. The Dalai Lama said, "War is neither glamorous nor attractive. It is monstrous. Its very nature is one of tragedy and suffering. What is gaming? Gaming is the activity of playing games on electronic devices such as phones, laptops, and tablets. Gaming has been the favorite activity of people during lockdown. Gaming that involves warfare can be a lot of fun. However, it has several negative impacts as well. War games such as PUBG can put harmful effects on our health. Staring at the mobile screen or computer screen for a very long time can be dangerous. Under severe conditions, it can lead to weak eyes, migraine, and headache. Many children have been affected by these games. These games cause psychological effects as well. People who play continuously get the urge to play more and more and ultimately get addicted to these games. These games cause mood swings as well. If a person loses a game, then he or she can be furious and irritated. The person can also develop an aggressive and destructive nature. The Indian government has already started banning games such as Road of Kings, Chief Almighty, and PUBG, which are all games involving warfare. I want to conclude by saying that the Indian government should ban all war games for the welfare of all citizens of India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanchita. You know what? It's interesting that you brought in the impact of these games, and that's something that I think that all of us need to be very cognizant about. You know, violence in the real world, it doesn't ever stop with what you're doing online. Well, I'd like to first of all give you guys a very soft round of applause because I think you guys all spoke really well. Thank you very much for that. And very quickly, we're going to go into our round of rebuttals. Now, remember, if you don't want to make a rebuttal, you can opt to pass. But if you'd like to make a rebuttal, you can always mention the name of the person whose point you're disagreeing with, or you have something to contend with as well. That's all right with us. Well, we're going to follow the exact same order that we followed while going. So I hope you guys are ready for your rebuttals. You've got 2 minutes on the clock. You'll hear the same ding as always. And let's take it from there.
Pratik talked about the violence in video games. Not just violence, but also there is also cooperation. So if the child is blamed for learning violence from a game, we have to admit that he is also learning to practice cooperation and teamwork from the same game. That's all I have to say.
It says to the whole opponent team, sir, not any particular person. While there are definitely positive applications to video games, it is important that exposure to lead to incremental behaviors, and also we adjust our time in computers when we are not everything useful and all the questions, but it is used we can't.
Someone talked about parental guidance. However, I feel the parents cannot guide because they're always this busy. So when there's violent games in action, I'm not sure how parents are supposed to stop that because they're themselves so busy with their own routine that they actually don't know what the child's heading towards. So the time constraint is something which we cannot help in today's world. So the child needs a guidance if he's playing or she's playing violent games, and that it's not been given. That's all.
Yes, I would like to have a rebuttal. So in the statement stated by Pratik, it said that he's worried about the physical activities. If you're worried about physical activities, we can balance our video game time and the time for our physical activities. It is proven that video games, including warfare, can improve hand coordination and attentiveness in other external activities. This can improve your activities in sports. Thank you.
Yes, I would like to make a rebuttal. Annie mentioned that these games improve social skills. So how do they improve social skills? When people get addicted to these games, they carry their phone everywhere and they are continuously playing. So how will they interact with the people around them when they're continuously staring at their screens?
I think that's an important point. Thank you so much, Sanchita. And with that, we come to our round of rebuttals.
Hey, I think the guys, the kids were just fantastic. I took away a lot for this. I was just sharing with Sai. I have kids that age, so this is a regular conversation happening at home, and there's a constant debate with my children about how much screen time they're having and how much time they're playing on and what games they're playing, and it's invariably these war games and. And I would have spoken for the topic, it was very interesting to see how there are some speakers like Annie spoke against the topic, and she gave me new perspective. I really liked that part where how she spoke about how the hand-eye coordination and all that, and I really like the way she flipped the whole thing about how war games are not about killing, but it's about surviving. So that was a new perspective for me, and also about the age appropriateness of the whole thing. So there was a lot of takeaways for me. I think it was a very interesting debate. I really like the effort that the kids have put into this whole thing. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear some of them properly. So I guess this is a new age, and we all have to take in this whole factor about connectivity and so on. I think this is going to be a part of the new normal. So I guess we learn. But I really like the energy that everybody brought in. Shrija, she spoke about that. I like those statistics that she brought in. I like the way she illustrated, her argument with the Texas killer. I really like the energy that Krish, with what Krish, the energy that Krish brought into the whole thing. So I had a fun evening, Danny. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Sai, would you like to say a few words to the kids about their performance?
Sure. So first up, congratulations everybody for getting on screen and having the courage to talk on a particular topic. I am not sure how where you found your inspiration and motivation from, but at your age, I would be actually hiding in a room and probably playing a video game that should have been banned long back. It was really enlightening to actually hear people's perspectives. And if I could advise you all three things, the first and the foremost would be to listen to another perspective. A debate, often we come into a debate thinking that I have to make my point and I need to win my point and win the audience over. But the first step to winning an audience is about listening to the other perspective. And I think it will also help you in your rebuttals. And most importantly, a debate is about taking away someone else's context. And think when Shrija spoke about stat, as well as when Annie spoke about cooperation, those are two different perspectives, and everybody stands to gain by learning something new. I also really appreciate Jenny for constantly listening, to everybody. I know there was a technological challenge, but I knew that the video was on and you were constantly listening and making an effort. And in the new age, when everything is falling apart, just to stand there and be there and keep listening, although your voice is not audible at some points, is something that I really, really appreciate. It is something that I will do at my work when things are falling apart. I will be on the call. I will not see it as an opportunity to drop off. So Jenny, you're a little inspiration up there for me.
Hats off for perseverance.
And no matter what, always think of debate as learning. If at all, I can tell you one thing, it's not winners versus losers. It's about learning. And if each of you can go back and reflect on what the other person has said, then maybe someday, the same point might come back and help you. So congratulations everybody for learning today. And I, for one, learned a lot of things. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Daniel, Seema, and everybody on the Event Express team for coordinating this. It was a wonderful evening.
Thank you. So Sai, will you or Eddie be making the announcement of our 3 titular winners today?
Yeah, I think the finest point here was made by Shrija.
Congratulations, Srija. Srija, what you get is you get a voucher for 1,000 rupees from Link Pens, our gift partner. We'll send that across to you and you could shop to your heart's content with stationery from Link. Eddie, the best rebuttal?
Yeah, and the counter strike was made by Sanchita.
Sanchita, congratulations. You also get yourself a 1,000 rupee voucher from Link. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the other, on the lighter side, we have, it was a close call, but I think this one will have to go to Annie.
Congratulations, Annie. You also get a 1,000 rupee voucher from Link Pens, our gift partner. I hope you buy lots of stationery and keep writing what other people are saying so that you don't lose track. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Edison. Thank you very much, Sai. It's been a great debate. Remember, you're all winners. And if you are playing PUBG, don't take it beyond the phone. Take care, stay safe. Bye, guys. Remember, you can vote for your favorite debater right here at www.edxlive.com/debate. Remember, every vote counts. Our voting lines are open for 48 hours, so get voting right now. This debate was brought to you by the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Sciences and MEIL. Every kid has a great story to tell. Have one? Well, we're listening. Send your best story to the New Indian Express's Bookworm Junior Summer Stories Contest and you could just end up becoming an author over the summer. What are you waiting for? Get writing.